Hello friends and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video we are going to study about cell, which is the unit of life. So let's start. The fundamental unit of life is not an atom, ion or molecule. Although these particles are present in non-living as well as in living bodies. To understand the difference between living and non-living substances, a knowledge of the cell is very much essential. The ions and molecules are precisely arranged in the cellular structure of an organism to provide the environment and organization for running the life processes in order. The cell itself is considered to be the basic structural and functional unit of life, as it is the smallest unit of all living organisms capable of carrying out all the activities that are necessary for life. The word cell is derived from Latin cella, that means to cover. That is, cell encompasses the basic unit of life. It can also be said that the cell is a complete unit of metabolism because it has all the chemical and physical factors which are necessary for its growth and maintenance. An isolated cell is also capable of growth and differentiation in a laboratory if the proper nutrients and appropriate environments are given. So we must know that there are a lot of cell culturing methods that we do in laboratory conditions in which the cell grow if we provide it a characteristic environment and nutrients that helps in the growth of the cell. Now let us focus our attention on the cell theory. So the discovery of microscope by Anton van Leeuwenhoek helped the biologists to understand the basic level of organization of living things where all structures can be reduced to a basic unit. So microscope has assisted a lot in study of cell biology. In 1665, Robert Hooke discovered that the cork, the bark of a tree, was composed of tiny compartments or holes as cells. So Robert Hooke's coined the term cell. Other biologists also found similar cells with full of fluid or sap in living tissue with the help of a microscope. So as I already told, that microscope has played an important role in a cell biology, study of cell biology. Following this, the idea gradually cropped on biologists that all living matter is made up of cells. In other words, the cell is the unit of life. So you must be knowing that the definition of cell is the cell is the basic structural and functional unit of life. Now, the cell theory, it became popular only after M.J. Scaledin and Swan of Germany, who independently formulated the cell theory in 1847. So these two are the great scientists who formulated the cell theory, which we widely know nowadays. So what the cell theory says, the cell theory of Scaledin and Swan states that all living things are composed of one or more cells. So organisms are composed of either single cell or multi cells. So the organisms which contain single cells are called as unicellular organisms. You must know the example of amoeba. And the organisms which contains more than one cell, multiple cells, these are called as multicellular organisms, such as animals, we, human beings, and plants. New cells are formed from the pre-existing one through divisions. We know very much widely that the cell division is that mitosis and meiosis that occurs in cell for continuation of the cell. So the cell are formed through the cell division from pre-existing ones. The cell which already exists, that through division gives rise to new cells. Now, there are basic similarities in chemical composition and metabolic function of all cells. So this is the third statement of the cell theory, that there is a basic similarities in chemical composition as well as in metabolic function. We know our body contains different types of cells. Some are concentrated in different organs, some are concentrated in different organs, and these all organs perform different function. But the cell has got basic similarities in chemical composition. For example, each and every cell contains carbohydrate, proteins, nucleic acid and other ions and minerals, and their metabolic functions such as respiration, etc. are also similar. Now the fourth point that the cell theory states that the activity of an organism is the collective activities and interaction of its cellular activities. So whatever our body perform, it is due to the collective action of all the cells that are present in our body. So there is a collective action as well as interaction between the cells to perform cellular activities in an organism. So these are the 4 points of cell theory which are formulated. Now we know that the cell is the basic unit of all living organisms, and the cell is divided into 2 large groups. One is prokaryotic cell and another one is eukaryotic cell. Bacteria and blue-green algae are the examples of prokaryotes, and the remaining plants and animals are eukaryotes. Prokaryotes have no definite nucleus. They are bounded, no definite nucleus, and they are not bounded by nuclear membrane. The nucleic acid is not associated with protein, and the daughter nuclei are generally formed automatically with the help of binary fission. So there is a major difference between prokaryotics and eukaryotics, that in prokaryotes there is no as such distinct nuclear membrane is present. So whatever the nucleus that is there, it is not bounded by nuclear membrane. So in prokaryotics you will not see nuclear membrane, but in eukaryotes, the eukaryotic cells have a definite nucleus containing DNA, RNA and protein with distinct nuclear membrane, discrete chromosomes and different kind of cell organelles. But in eukaryotes there is the presence of a distinct nuclear membrane. So this is a major difference between a prokaryotic cell and a eukaryotic cell. The prokaryotic cells are primitive and are found even in anaerobic condition. These cells could not synthesize their necessary compounds which is needed for cell metabolism by itself, hence these are called as heterotrophs. Okay, so many prokaryotic cells live in anaerobic condition and some lives in aerobic conditions also. But there are some autotrophic bacteria which can synthesize their organic requirements by reducing atmospheric carbon dioxide under anaerobic conditions. Now the eukaryotic cells are evolved from prokaryotes through a microbe lacking cell wall. This wall-less microbe is called as mycoplasma. The scientific name is Thermoplasma acidophyllum. It has some eukaryotic characteristics with the association of proteins similar to histone and nucleic acid. And this evolution of eukaryotic cells was going on simultaneously with the origin of mitochondria and plastid inside the cell due to symbiotic association of some prokaryotes. So due to symbiotic association, prokaryotic cells got evolved into eukaryotic cells. So this microbe which lacks cell wall, that is Thermoplasma acidophyllum, had got some symbiotic association with other prokaryotic organisms and leads to the formation of modern eukaryotic cells. So this was all about the cell. In later video lectures we will discuss about eukaryotic and prokaryotic cells, their differences and the function of cells. So hope you like this video and understood about this. And if you want to get more videos, you have to subscribe the channel, subscribe our channel, like and share, so that you can get more videos for biology related subject. Thank you so much for listening.